All right, what's up, nerds? Welcome back to the Barflies podcast, episode 89 today. The back page this week, a lot to cover. Well, we're going to try to keep it short, but...
Pardon me, we've got half an hour.
Basically, Xander just disappeared for 5 tests of test cricket.
I literally left on the first test and watched it over there, and then I let my period that I was over there was the exact time of that test matches.
Yep. So, we didn't cover any sport in the guest episodes. Hardly any rugby league is being talked about. My head is literally about to explode.
You're frothing.
My team that I go for is keeping me kind of in check. But
played a great game on Sunday, Arvo. Well, not a great game, but a good finish anyway.
Competitive game. Good game. We'll get to it. We'll run through the games from last week. A bit of rugby league off the rip. Thursday night, Manly lost to the Roosters. Roosters getting up 26-16.
Look, two teams, both kind of do or die at the moment, need to pretty much win every game to make finals with current ladder positions. This loss is kind of putting Manly not out of the race, but pretty much like Manly have to win every game, and I'm pretty sure their next game they've got a tough run of games coming up.
Yeah, the Panthers next week. I'm pretty sure.
So look, the Panthers are absolutely motoring right now, so I think they're going to cop a bit of a smashing.
Yeah, I didn't see a round where Manly got up this against the Roosters this week.
The Roosters, they're desperate for a win. Look, Roosters have to win every game from here on out. They've got the caliber to do it. Will they? Who knows?
Who have they got? So the Roosters have got the Dolphins, Para, and the Tigers, and then Souths.
And
which technically all winnable. At least the Dolphins and the Tigers are winnable.
But they've got to beat Para. Anyway, you know what? We'll do some ladder analysis. We'll go through the games.
Okay.
And then we'll do ladder analysis.
We'll do ladder analysis.
Because if we do ladder analysis at each point, this is going to take a long time.
That's true.
Okay, next.
Is there any talking points out of this game or not really?
Not really.
Was there a send-off in this game?
Nathan Brown, quickest send-off, I think, ever.
What happened?
I didn't even watch the highlights for this game.
Neither.
It looked shit.
I didn't care.
I didn't care. I had no interest in what happened in this game.
Do you know what minute he got sent off in?
Like the 60th minute or something. But he went on and he got sent off straight away.
Yeah. Lowest Supercoach score ever. -18.
Yeah, shocking. Gold Coast Titans versus the Warriors. Look, SJ showing his class. I mean, look, we'll put it hands up, humble pie here. We thought the Warriors were going to be no good this year. They've actually proved us wrong massively. I thought they could maybe get the spoon. They have been phenomenal.
How good is it to see? I think
I'm happy to see them doing well. I'm very happy to be proven wrong.
I think one of the things with rugby league, no matter what you say, is it does kind of suck to see teams sucking. And
especially a team like the Warriors. It's like Newcastle kind of thing. You want them to.
But even at the moment, I feel like everyone's kind of over the Tigers, the Bulldogs, and the Dragons sucking. It's better for the competition when all the teams are good. So for the Warriors to just completely turn around their club, it's been really good to see. Sean Johnson has pretty much followed a similar timeline to Benji, going back to his boyhood club in the formative years of the final years of his career, and just turning back the clock. It's great to see.
Tearing up. And they get RTS next year.
Yeah.
Look,
like it a lot.
They've been absolutely phenomenal.
Andrew Webster from Tigers assistant coach to potentially top 4 finish with the Warriors.
Just awesome. I think a big thing with that as well is they're back because COVID affected them for ages. So I feel like the not being around family and stuff, maybe they've said it played a massive part in their club not doing as well. So it's so good to see them playing well. The Titans, hot and cold, great 1 week, not as great the next. Have beaten some big teams, haven't beaten others. Who knows?
The same season for the past 5 years. We called this at the start of the year.
Yeah,
hot and cold Titans.
We'll see what happens when we do some ladder analysis. We'll get into it.
Only thing, Jaden Campbell has basically, he's playing so good they can't keep him out of the team. What a predicament to be in.
He's too good not to be starting or in the side somewhere.
It's incredible. It's great to see.
Look, I mean, old man Foran's great, but what happens when AJ Brimson's fit again? They don't want to drop. They seem to never want to drop Tanner Boyd, best goal kicker in the league.
I'd maybe go Foz at 7.
But Foz is, I don't know.
Don't know. It's tricky.
It's tricky. Anyway,
Or do you go Brimo to the centres?
I feel like he's
Just for this year, just till the end of the year.
maybe. But also, their centers are pretty good at the moment. Anyway, who knows? But I feel like it's hard kind of to get all their best players in the park.
Good to see Jaden Campbell playing well.
Yeah, I really like Jaden Campbell.
Yeah.
There's a lot to like there, I think.
Great to watch. Very silky and just
Yeah,
like,
he's just awesome.
Yeah.
Like, he's electric. He's an electric player. Penrith rolled the Storm. They're just like
no
and the
Hughes.
Storm don't no Hughes and like a late scratching as well. But I mean, I'm sure the Storm won't be using that as an excuse. But you know, the Penrith have beaten the Storm without Nathan Cleary there before, so I don't see how no Jerome Hughes is, you know, a way to say.
Yeah. Penrith are hot, mate.
Penrith are just motoring at the moment.
And Paps made his return in Q Cup over the weekend
That's
as
it.
well. Things you love to see.
Look, I don't think you'll see him play for Storm this year.
I reckon you will. I beg to differ. I reckon, mate. I reckon they'll get him back in. 100%.
For finals.
I reckon he's back
games,
in before the finals.
I don't know.
I'm calling round 26. What do we got? Round 2 weeks. I reckon 2 more weeks of Q Cup.
I don't know about that.
I reckon he's in.
I don't know about that. I don't think it's worth risking him this late in the season, especially when he's on like $1 million a year. I don't see the point.
What are you risking though? What are you risking? Him getting injured?
You'd rather him be playing, getting some match fitness back at a lower level. Like, I don't know. And he's such a good player.
Like he wouldn't be playing if he's not fit. Like he's ready to go. You know?
I guess so. We'll see.
He's ready to go.
We'll see. But I ultimately, I think it would depend on him, like what he wants to do.
Yeah.
Like that, if he wants to play, he wants to play. But unfortunately, we don't have a direct data of Ryan Pappenhausen, so we're not sure. But I personally, if I was a coach of Melbourne and I had him for another 3 years after this on $1 million a year, I'd be saying you can wait till next year because look what happens to Latrell and Turbo.
Yeah, they're different injuries though. They're muscle injuries that are like reoccurring.
But this is like almost a career-ending injury is what he had before.
I know, I understand
Which
that.
is pretty although they're different, but like still.
I just think that
not always Turbo's is that. Turbo's had shoulder, he's had elbow, he's had like just a bunch of stuff. I don't know. I wouldn't rush him back. Is what I'm saying.
My point is, and I hear you. They may not, but he's been out for 13 months. Like they would have been taking this so cautiously. Like they would have already not rushed him back. Like he would have already overdone his rehab, in my opinion. Like he wouldn't be back if he's not 110% fit. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, okay.
I think
you make a good point.
Dude, if he kills it in Q Cup the next 2 weeks, you know, what are you going to do? Not play him?
Especially like if the Storm lose a game and you're like, oh well, one of our best players is sitting on the bench.
Yeah,
sitting
even
reserves.
like you say, even if they put him on the bench.
Justin Olam is in the reserve grade at the moment.
Yeah, why? I don't know.
He's just been playing crap.
Yeah,
Barely not afraid to
killed some poor bloke in Q Cup. Did you
he?
see that?
No, I didn't see it.
Oh mate.
Well, like maybe it's Well, he got dropped. He's been playing pretty badly. Well, he's a great player. Like Justin Olam's an absolute machine. So
the Storm haven't really found that next gear since Nico and Tino left.
No,
Do you know what I mean?
But they have their moments though.
I agree, but they just haven't found that sort of.
But they've had a lot of injuries though. They have a lot of times where they've had people out. Like they've been pretty like remember last year they just had so many. They'll just run rampant with injuries last year. So it's kind of hard to find your groove when your best team isn't always on the park. Kind of like the Rabbitohs this year when their whole team was there. We'll get to the Rabbitohs at one point, but I'm just using an example. When their whole team is fit and on the park, especially their spine, it's like, okay, this team looks like they're going to win the comp.
Yeah.
When, when every week they've got a new injury, someone out, blah, 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 and you've seen them lose a couple games, it is what it is. We'll go to North Queensland and the Broncos next. I watched the first, 20 minutes of this game on break at work on my phone. Really cracking opening 20 minutes. But obviously Brisbane just ran away with it a little bit. Do you have anything to add?
No, not much from this game.
No Val Holmes.
Broncos did well with no Adam Reynolds.
What's wrong with Adam Reynolds?
What is wrong with Adam Reynolds? Not sure. Injury? Groin
Injury.
So yeah, I think great win for the Broncos in the scheme of things. I don't think the Cowboys are Look, if they scrape into the finals, I don't think they'll do much. Unfortunately,
They did have that good run at home.
no
good
Val
run
Holmes.
week one.
Yeah. No Val Holmes definitely hurts as well. But they got a bye this week, so we'll see. Not much to say from
Losing
that game.
2 on the trot, much needed bye, especially in the congested table.
Yeah.
Dolphins, Newcastle next. Geez, the Dolphins threw this one away.
I didn't watch it.
I watched some of it, and I watched a bit of it. They absolutely threw it away. They were ahead for most of it, and then they just let a couple of tries in. Well, I guess I've been away, so you haven't covered it, on KP's return to form.
Yeah.
But he has been simply
So good to see.
astonishingly good.
So good to see.
He's been crazily good. So great to see, because that's the player that we all know, that we all want him to play like. And that's $1 million a year player.
Yeah.
That's that.
And see, I think it's been great. Like, Kalen's almost reminded us all how good he is. And I think if Queensland have this situation again next year, where Kalen's playing the way he is now, and Reece Walsh is, we're going to assume still in a similar sort of form, they're going to have a really tough decision on their hands. So, mate, good to see. Good to see Kalen.
To be fair, I reckon they just pick both. They just pick both.
play with two fullbacks.
Just play.
Two
I reckon
fullbacks.
Ponga or something. One of them Ponga would probably come on off the bench.
Do you reckon you could do that? Change.
Mate, Ponga's already come off the bench and been the best player.
No,
on the field.
I mean change the formation. Just play, instead of playing 3 at the back.
Oh, play 2.
Play 2 at the back.
Mate, if anyone could, those 2 could. They're fucking awesome. But yeah. So we'll see. It's a good. I mean, we'll see next. We're already. No way. You just talked about Origin. It's like 11 months away. You freak.
Last thing I'll say on this game as well.
Are you doing ladder analysis right now?
No, I'm not doing ladder analysis. I'm just seeing who the Dolphins are playing in the next few games. I think the Dolphins will come good again towards this year. Just a Wayne Bennett coach side. They've had a really tough run through Origin. To be again,
injuries as well.
Yeah, injuries. They threw this game away with Newcastle, but Newcastle are red hot.
Yeah.
I'd be tipping the Dolphins.
Also,
next
they've
week.
been playing the hammer at fullback.
At
centre.
Yeah.
In that team, and I know Nicarima has been playing really good, but I mean, it's the hammer.
Yeah.
He was absolutely ripping at fullback. Why would you change? Anyway, Wayne Bennett would know better than me, but
Maybe a bit of a rest after Origin sort of thing. Don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe.
South Sydney versus Cronulla. Again, Cronulla kind of ran away with this game.
Dude, biggest shock of the round for me.
2 games at Optus Stadium this week. 2 games.
That
in
wasn't
Perth.
at Optus, I don't think.
Yeah,
was
both
it?
of them.
Oh, was it?
Optus and Optus.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. 2 pretty teams that are kind of battling out for a similar position in the 8 at the moment. The Sharks coming off some shocking form. The Rabbitohs have kind of been off and on. Team pending. The Sharks were due. They finally beat a team in the top 8.
Well, going into this game, I was looking at this matchup going, Souths are going to click at any moment. Like, Latrell's back. They struggled against the Tigers a little bit last week, but they're going to click at any moment. And I think everyone was kind of, sort of the general rhetoric was that the Sharks are sort of
petering out,
potentially dropping out of the 8. So for them to come out and sort of put away those rumors that they can't beat big sides, this is a great win for them.
Yeah, it was, especially because, there's probably been a lot of pressure on someone like Nico as well with the whole Origin debacle, which I reckon definitely would have played into it a little bit.
Agreed.
And then they've lost Finucane, Teague Wilton, who've been their starters the whole year. Kennedy now as well. So this was a good win for them. This was a really good win. And Teague and player like Kennedy as well, who's been just so good for them all year. I feel like you can't really, your starting fullback, missing them is massive, especially in an established team like the Sharks.
Great win. Sharks got a good run home too. I think they'll get in the 8. I think they'll get in there.
Yeah, I'll be shocked if they don't.
And South Sydney, don't know what to say about this. I don't.
Ladder analysis coming up.
No, I'm just saying. I'm just talking about them as a club and where they're at.
Okay.
Yeah, like I was saying, I've kind of just been waiting for the moment for South Sydney just to really click into gear. I don't think Totola played this game either. I think they've been missing him a lot. Yeah, he didn't play. So
Jai Arrow injured.
Yeah, and Burgess is out for 4 weeks as well. So
they've had a shocking run this year of injuries.
They really needed to get it together quickly though, because they're not in a great spot on the ladder either.
No, which we'll get to momentarily. We got the Eels and the Dragons. Now I was watching this at home. I was riding the Dragons home. I was going, yes, you beauty. We're up 20-10. Guess what happens? 3 unanswered tries. How
in
good?
11 minutes.
You beauty. So, look, the Dragons had quite a few people injured, HIA, etc. Michaeli Ravalawa getting 4 tries, which you'd love to see. But look, there was just a couple moments at the end of the game. There was one where Ben Hunt decided to run the ball on the 5th on our 30-metre, gets the ball knocked out of his hands, knock on, Para then score. That I was going, not great. Not great, especially when we would just kick up the field, we're tying at this point. Well, we were ahead. And then there was like one at the end where Zach Lomax jumps for the ball, wins it in the air. Sloane's running up the inside, and instead he does a flick, tries to flick past it to Ravalawa, and then it gets intercepted by the guy. I mean, if it comes off, you're probably saying that's crazy, but it was just like,
Needed.
if you just kind of...
Yeah.
But, I mean, in the heat of the moment, pressure's a crazy thing. But, like, again, to Para's credit, they did come back. They did come back to win. There was one call with the bunker in this game where, like, they said Clint Gulson didn't attempt to strip the ball out of the guy's hand, of Little's hand. But, like, you can literally see his hand going like that, stripping the ball out. I thought... I was trying to be non-biased, but I thought it was clear as day.
I think, and we'll touch on this with the Tigers game as well, but some of the refereeing decisions, not only this round, but over the last few months have been not like, and I hate to criticize the referees, but they haven't been up to par. They have not been up to scratch on numerous occasions, and it's frustrating.
It sucks to see coming into finals as well, because you just go far out. Like, if this is going to affect some of the biggest, even when it comes up to Origin and it happens, you're like, oh, if this is going to affect the biggest games of the year, this is going to suck.
Well, the thing that frustrates me, especially coming out of the tail end of Origin, I was thinking about it a lot. It's like the way they referee the Origin games is so different to the way they referee normal games, and it's like why can't? So we're reffing the peak of our game is reffed at this level. It's we let the game flow, we're lenient.
And even then they got it wrong.
Yeah, and they jump in where they see fit. But in regular footy, it'll be like first tackle of a team's set of the game, and the ref will penalise the other team for holding him down, like no warning or anything. It's like, guys, like let's let this thing
let it flow.
So,
or to the credit of the ref in the Para St George game, apart from the video ref missing that. He did kind of let the game flow. There was like a lot of like instances where the other teams would get sin binned or whatever, but he just kind of was letting it flow, which created quite a good game. But yeah, that was just kind of a bit of a upsetting one. But speaking of upsetting results and referees missing some absolute, some crazy calls.
shockers.
Tigers versus the Raiders, this last game of the week. Raiders won 22-18.
Yeah, weird game. This one. Don't think either side necessarily deserved to win.
Bit of a poo slinger.
The Raiders, the Raiders make it hard for themselves. Like, I think they had like 4 out of 11 completed sets in the first half. Like, first 20, 25 minutes or whatever. So, mate, yeah, pretty weird. Tigers, as same old story all year, just absolutely pathetic inside the 20. Thought Brooks had a really good game.
I thought Brooks had a great game.
He's been great probably from about round 12 onwards. I think he's going to be a great pickup for Manly next year. But Tigers, no doubt, really missing funnily enough, Jackson Hastings type player to sort of direct the team around and settle the ship. Because like the Tigers, it's so all or nothing. I don't know if you've noticed, but like last tackle, Luke Brooks looks really positive with the ball, but it's always like there's no sort of game management. It's
you need like a Cooper Cronk-esque.
Yeah.
Kind of someone that's like someone who just kind of chill.
Just get relaxed,
like how the Raiders have Jamal Fogarty.
Yeah.
He's not there to do the razzle dazzle, to do the electric. He's there to do one job, which is just get the set in, get to the kick, and do it all over again.
Yeah. Which is why the pursuing Aiden Caesar makes so much sense. I really hope that comes through. Even though we've signed Sullivan and Latu Fainu, like Aiden Caesar's definitely got to be the guy. the guy for us moving forward. I think.
And I think them not having, I think Brooks leaving is just going to be good for Brooks and the Tigers.
Yeah.
I think there's so much like rhetoric around him.
Yeah, I think it'll be good too.
Um,
But like, and as well, the last play of the game.
oh, well, there was
Nofaluma.
multiple last plays of the game.
Man.
I was literally watching like, no way this is happening, like crazy. Although I am a bit like shocked that Jack Whiten came in pretty heavy on that poor bloke.
absolutely clobbered.
Just
Starfire.
absolutely cleaned him up
Yeah.
as well. Like I'm surprised he didn't. I mean, it was the end of the game, so it didn't matter. But like I'm surprised he still didn't get 10 for that because he cleaned him up.
Yeah.
He
effed
got
him
him
up.
good. He got him good.
Yeah.
And
But
Jack Whiten as well in this game had like such a strange game. Like there was like 5 minutes where he would play amazing footy, and then there was 5 minutes where he's like throwing consecutive passes over the sideline.
They made so many errors, Canberra.
Yeah, it was a strange game.
They're like against a good side, they don't win that game. So
No, but then again, Canberra love to turn up against a good team, so you never know. Especially playing badly at home, they're usually awesome at home.
Yeah, I think I was saying to Xander just before the podcast, but I think the Raiders are really going to tire themselves out. / I think they really have over the last 10 weeks. And yeah, coming in, look, they've got the Storm, the Broncos, and the Sharks in their last 4 games. Like, I just don't think they're going to set themselves up for a good run to the finals. So I'm worried about the Raiders. Sorry, Blav.
Okay, now time. God, we love a bit of ladder analysis. Here we go. We saved it. We got. We stopped ourselves getting too into it.
Yep.
Now we're going to go for it. Okay, what are we going to do here? Just go kind of each team or each section? Why don't we start top 4?
Maybe kind of, top 4.
We'll start top 4, okay? Because this is kind of the most set part of the ladder.
Yeah. I don't see the top 4 changing.
No, not at all. Penrith and Brisbane at the top. I'd say like Penrith are actually going to decide the 8 position. I feel like because you've got Manly. They've got Manly who are 11th, Gold Coast who are 13th, Para who are 9th, North Queensland who are 10th, who are all vying for that spot. So whoever gets in 8th place, I feel like is going to either hate or love the Penrith Panthers. So that makes a good mix, but I don't see that changing. Brisbane, again, both those teams, couple points clear at the top. They're not going anywhere. They've got a couple good games to close out the season. They've got a bye. They've also got the Eels, the Raiders, and the Storm.
Eels by Raiders Storm. Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be, like I was saying before, it'll be interesting to see how these top sides in the competition sort of build towards the finals because we're already seeing it with Penrith. They are just chugging along so perfectly for a good run home. So it'll just be, especially with the Broncos and Melbourne are probably the 2 I've got my eye on just to sort of, because they're the 2 other real premiership threats for me. Like the Warriors are in there, there and abouts, but it's not to say they can't win it, but I just don't. I almost just don't trust them, if that makes sense, just because of how they've been over the years. But I just think seeing how Melbourne and Brisbane sort of bring home this season will.
But the Warriors have the best defense in the comp after Penrith, which has never been their which has never been a notable thing about them. So it's pretty impressive stuff. And their run home is pretty easy.
Good, yeah.
They've got a real good run home. They've got some bottom teams in there.
Home final in New Zealand.
Yeah, that would be sick.
Oh,
no, they
won't.
won't. No, they won't.
No. Unless they finish above Brisbane. No, they won't.
No, they won't. Look, and then you've got the Storm. Look, I don't think the Storm are in the top 4 unless they lose the Raiders tomorrow or the Broncos. But the team below them in Canberra have to verse the Storm, the Broncos, and the Sharks. So, look, I think the Storm are going to be pretty sweet. I think the Storm will be top 4. Yep. I'd be shocked if it's not Storm top who come 4th.
Yeah, I think the Raiders have just got enough to hold on to a spot in the 8. I think Cronulla will hang. Newcastle and South Sydney are the interesting ones.
Yes, well, yeah, Cronulla I can't see dropping. But look, all these teams though, they're all versing each other.
Yeah.
Like the teams competing for the same spots. This is what's going to make the end of this season so spicy. It's because they actually have each other in these fixtures. So it's just going to give everything another, like every game is going to be so important. Like, I feel like a lot of these teams are going to play 3 finals games before getting to the finals, which is massive.
Yeah.
Um,
The Roosters are only 1 win outside as well.
yeah, like they're not far off. Yeah, Newcastle and South Sydney. Look, South Sydney have got Newcastle. They've got the Dragons next week, and then they've got the Roosters. I can't see them. They always seem to beat the Roosters.
They have to win all 3.
They have to win all 3. They've got a bye as well, so they've got 2 points a gimme. Look, I reckon they get there. There's no way they don't. Latrell and Cody Walker will turn it on. Newcastle, I'd love to see Newcastle make the 8. They've got the Dogs and they've got the Dragons. Surely they're gimmies. But then they also have to beat the Rabbitohs. See, this is what I mean. Like it's all intertwined. This is sick. This is awesome. This is the best season in a long time.
Yeah, 100%.
This is easy. And then obviously 9, 10, the closest people getting to the finals at the moment is Parrot and North Queensland. Both have to verse Penrith. Both have to verse a top 8 team, and both versing a team outside the 8. So pretty even run in.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Manly, well, unless Manly perform a miracle, I don't think they're going to make it because they've got the Panthers, the Warriors, the Dogs, the Tigers. They can beat the Dogs and the Tigers, but the other 2, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Now, the Roosters is an interesting one. They're in 12th at the moment. They're a win outside the 8. However, they've got a minus 100 point difference. They've got the Dolphins, like very winnable match. Eels, Tigers, Rabbitohs. I don't think they get there. I think the Eels would beat the Roosters for sure.
Yeah, I don't think the 8 changes much. I'm
You
gonna
don't reckon?
back Newcastle in. I think South will be in. Yeah, Parramatta got a tough run. I don't think North Queensland are going to do it.
We got down to 12th. Look, I don't think it's worth reviewing the others. The Titans we could look into, but honestly,
No.
I don't think it's worth it.
No.
They've got
No one wants to hear that.
no. And then other than that, you've got the teams that are way down the bottom. Yeah, you don't want to hear about them.
We could have picked that bottom 4.
Yep. But look, there's a great season ahead. We kind of dribbled a little bit on some ladder analysis, but what would you expect? But apart from that, get ready for a cracking final 4 games and a cracking final series. Because honestly, there's teams in there that could come. If the Rabbitohs come 8th, they could still win the comp.
Absolutely.
So, look, get ready for some fireworks. That's all I'm going to say. Anything else to add on top of that, or are you happy to call it?
That's about it for rugby league. Do you want to talk about the Ashes at all? Or?
Ashes
It's
recap.
kind of all been covered.
It's all been said. Geez, England love to whine. They just love to whinge, don't they?
What a bizarre series of events.
Mate, spirit of cricket. They're absolutely kidding themselves. They've literally...
And they didn't have a beer with us at the end anyway.
Apparently they met up in a nightclub afterwards. Apparently that's the story. Look, I don't know. They just love to whinge, the English. When it goes their way, they don't mind, but etc. Just a lot of theatre. But the thing is, right, they all have all this media thing and they all ease into it. But then when they're on the pitch, they're all mates. Kind of sucks. I want to see them get into each other.
Yeah.
I want to see them have a bit of niggle.
Yeah.
Bit of ticker. Bit of fire. That's when the Ashes... That's when it got good, when they actually were getting a bit G'd up at each other.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't like all the super friendly,
Yeah, nah, fuck the English. I don't like all the rhetoric about people liking Ben Stokes. I don't like that guy.
I think he's a
Good cricketer. I don't like him as a bloke.
Look, I reckon's a really weak chant.
What?
Is the chant about Steve Smith and we saw you cry on the telly, blah, blah, blah. You know when he cried on the thing and how they always chant that? I reckon that's such an average chant. I also think, you could say the same thing about Ben Stokes. You'd say, mate, we saw you fight in an alley. Remember when he assaulted those 2 guys?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Now he's got an OBE.
Clown.
Anyway, but I also think it's funny with that chant because when, obviously the English crowds absolutely love to dish it out, but their players don't like to take it so much because last time they were in Sydney when they lost 4-0, there was, apparently someone called Johnny Bairstow fat, and they went in the media and were like, oh, the crowds here are, they called us fat, blah, blah, blah. It's like, mate, are you joking? Have you seen your home crowds? Are you actually taking the piss right now? So, look, I think
They play it when it suits them, mate. you know?
yeah, I don't know. I just they just there's no one in that English team. I like Joe Root. But I like Mark Wood. There's no one else in that English team that I go, oh, like sick.
Yeah.
You know, they're all a bit. Meh.
Yeah. Not here. Not here.
I don't know. I'm mixed opinions about Ben Stokes. I think he's a really good player though.
Yeah, he's a gun.
But yeah, we'll see. But yeah, that's my. I mean, I could talk for a while about what happened in this Ashes series, but we have somewhere to be.
Yeah. And also, there's probably been about. It's all been said.
Yeah, it's all.
We're a little late to the party.
Yeah,
Unfortunately,
we are. But yeah, there we go. That's it. That's
that
all
us?
said and done.
Yeah.
Look, that is the back page. Great to be back. Great to have some NRL dribble, sport dribble. Oh, going to the Matildas game tonight.
Oh, let's go.
Go the girls.
Absolutely.
Sam Kerr back tonight?
Is she?
Maybe. I reckon she could be. I hope she is because I'll be there.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, might have to put a little.
I've got it.
$10 on the
I'm
score.
so scarred from calf injuries over the last 3 months.
Well, you're an athlete.
Well, Trelmit, Nathan Lyon,
Oh, okay.
you know.
I thought you talked about yourself.
No, mate. I'm not that self-centered. But I'm a little bit scarred, so... And I went in last week with a really sort of pessimistic attitude about the Tillies, and they absolutely proved us all wrong. Towed Canada up.
Well, you were there for that game.
No, we were just watching it.
Oh, okay. Right.
I was just watching it.
Oh, right. I thought you were saying that you were there.
Weren't there, but look, go the girls.
Go the girls. Couple big contenders knocked out as well. So, you know, it would be great to see the girls win one on home soil.
Good to see the US get knocked out just quietly.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. It's always good to see the US lose. just quietly.
Yeah.
Apart from world wars, but every other time.
Yeah.
if it's sport related. But yeah. No, it's good times. Good times for all.
Yeah,
Good
okay.
time for sport.
We done?
Yeah, we're done.
All right.
All right, see you later.
Okay, bye.
Bye.